Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Game Vault podcast stream. I'm your host, Mark, and that was our new intro for the Game Vault Pod News Hour. So, how I have that set up in DaVinci, hey, Night Duck. How I have that set up in DaVinci is, that little clip with the now loading and then this thing is broken up into parts because I believe that's like 8 seconds each, and then the song's like 45 seconds. So, I'm thinking of like throwing in clips from the podcast in the little gaps. So it just doesn't loop, and we'll do something fun with that. But that's more permanent than the Should I Stream It intro, because that is music. If you listen to the audio podcast, which is the only place you heard that, it's the great music from Lavalette that we got for our podcast opening, and that will now be a part of the YouTube videos and the Twitch streams. I have not set up the end yet because I want to have a different end credits thing. So you won't hear the end credits song, and it's a little bit harder to line up. But you will get the intro song, so thumbs up, and that intro will look better. The Should I Stream It one should also look better. I'm thinking of popping in things as well there to make that better. And then hopefully we'll get new music to eliminate the temporary AI-generated music that was in there as just a test. So welcome. I hope you like it. I'm trying to make some improvements to the podcast and the video side of the podcast. We've been doing a lot of good stuff with the audio side recently, so enjoy. Yeah, I love these headlines that are here on there. Yeah, these are. I might change this background. I might find a new newspaper background. This was just generic newspaper. So yeah, but yeah, some improvements coming. Thumbs up. But yeah, into what I've been playing. So we'll start out with what I've been streaming. So on Monday we did Mighty Bomb Jack, which is a weird game that I think I've only started to understand through this playthrough. So, and also, for the video listeners, I will be eating throughout the thing the Reese's PB&J cups. So, if you hear me pause on the audio, it's because I am chewing a Reese's cup. So anyway, I think I finally understood 3 new things that I did not know. Mighty Bomb Jack. One, that each of the different outfits that Jack has is, does something different. For the one, allows you to open empty chest. The third level, I think they're like 1, 2, 3, they're like levels. You use points to change each one. The third one lets you just basically collect chests by running through them. You don't have to do the jump to open. And the fourth one allows you to just, when you jump, you kill all the enemies on screen, essentially. So now I know what all those outfits do. I don't know if there's a 5th outfit. I don't think so. And I learned that once you collect 10, I think it's 10 or, I don't know if it's 11 or 10, but it's definitely around 10. You get thrown into, like, basically purgatory, the torture room, or whatever they call it, where you have to avoid enemies for what feels like 2.5 minutes, when they only say it's 60 seconds. I think Night Duck was counting it out for me on Monday. So we were able to do that, and we got through a couple of those. And I think we're about halfway through that game, so we should be done next week, hopefully. But yeah, it's just essentially collectathon thing, points and all that. But it's fun, and it's actually enjoyable to getting to learn the game, actually. Not just running through it. I'm actually learning it, which is fun, which is something that I was hoping by playing through these games that I would. Bugs Bunny seems as simple. I'm not really learning anything there. But yeah, it's been a good time. This isn't bad. I just took a bite of the Reese Cup. So, the major thing with that is that it very much feels like it is a sequel to an arcade game or a Nintendo port of an arcade game or something. And it very much feels like that. So it's very punishing in aspects because they want you to drop quarters in and stuff like that. And so I'm excited to be getting through it. So we'll see where it goes from there. And on let's see, the only other game I played this week. Let's see, I don't think I played anything outside of stream. Really, no, I played some Balatro while I was at a yesterday after softball. I went to my cousin's mountain cabin, and we didn't have any internet or anything, so I was using my phone to play Balatro and playing some, and got through that. One game I did play, I was playing New Super Mario 3D World on my Switch because I brought my Switch up and I wanted a game that I could be distracted and talk to people by, so I didn't want like a Hades or something that I needed to concentrate a little bit with, or anything like Zelda or anything like that. So I got through an entire world, got all the green star stamps, and jumped on top of the pole. So basically 100% at that world. So that was fun. That game's amazing. It's a great, like, if you need like a couple hours or even 30 minutes just to play something. It's pretty awesome. I played through an entire cup on 100cc Mario Kart, because apparently I only did the 50cc's in Mario Kart 8 at some point. So being the completionist I am, I just started where I left off. So that was my Switch experience for the first time in a long time, playing games on there that were not Nintendo Switch Online. And, you know, essentially, part of me wants to pick up Electro for that as well. But I won't. The phone suffices. So, yeah. And, I think that's it, really. The only other thing I played was Friday. We did Should I Stream It with South of Midnight. Had some issues in terms of, I don't know. I think I was trying to make the game better for me to look at. But I seem like I would have to, while streaming and playing, whatever's going on with my computer, I think I got to do 1080p for both instead of 1440p for me, 1080p for you. Because this is the second time it crashed. I think Avowed, or even when we get the Clay Obscura, we will get through that. But through South of Midnight, it's not going to be a game we stream. For various reasons, if you've been reading some of the news, a reason why we won't continue on with it. Essentially. So we're going to try and do our best to alter Should I Stream It as I can. Essentially, you know, we don't get codes for free and I'm not made of money. So in some unfortunate cases, I will have to figure it out from there. But going to try our best to adhere to that boycott as we can. But the overall South of Midnight experience, we are going to, I think it's like 10 hours, so I might just, you know, play it off stream, get it done in a month, before I can't play it anymore, and, you know, sort of go through it. I love the art style, have not gotten into any of the actual, combat yet. The parkouring seems very Uncharted PS3 level like, which is a compliment. It's meaning it's good, but not as clumsy as early Assassin's Creed or even Assassin's Creed in general. And we are going to, you know, hopefully that gets better. Or find out that gets better. But even if it stays the same, it's very, very playable. The story's great. So far, very, very intriguing. I'm interested to see where it goes, just because they introduced a whole bunch of characters in terms of giving you a good possible villain, or one of those, she didn't really talk to you because she was trying to hide the truth from you or something like that. Your grandmother, essentially. So Yeah, and the art style, like I said, is great. Music's been great. The narrator was pretty amazing. Um, and like I said, it's a short game, 9 to 10 hours if you just do this the straight um, story path instead of and I don't know if there's any sides or anything, but um, yeah. So seems like a good game. Hopefully, people get to play it soon. Um, and that leaves us to for the rest of the month, since I technically already handed over the money. We'll play Avowed until Clay Obscura comes out, and then we'll be playing through that. So, yeah, looking forward to Clay Obscura there. Expedition 33. That's one of the 2 games I'm very much anticipating through the summer. And then we get to August and we get Metal Gear Delta. So, all right, I think that's really it. If you're watching the channel, we've been playing through Final Fantasy VI with Tom. That's been a fun time. But yeah, let's get on to the news. We're here a little early on Sunday just because Last of Us TV show. I made the decision to go early instead of after, so that we can have like a reactions thing next week. We'll see how that plays out. Maybe I should do it after the episodes each week so that we can talk about it on the podcast for Monday. But I made the decision to go before tonight. We'll see. Worst case, I'll do a reactions thing, like an 8-minute thing tomorrow. All right, so let's get into the news. Where's my mouse? There's my mouse. And first off, we have an update on do I have? Yeah, I do. Okay. We have an update on Nintendo Switch 2 stuff. The first batch of Switch 2 pre-orders, invitations in the U.S. and all that. The article pointed to May 8th, as it says the update here. As new information has been the case since April 2nd. So basically, they kept that the same. So your May 8th date might actually end up being your date for regular pre-orders. The requirements are as shown. You need to be the one who purchased a Nintendo Switch Online membership. You must have had any paid Nintendo Switch membership for a minimum of 12 months. And you must have opted in to share gameplay data and have at least 50 hours of total gameplay. So, this is their way around scalpers, for the most part here. I guess it's the best they can do. I don't know what else you would do to, be able to get scalpers out of your system. Because worst case for Nintendo, a scalper gives you money for an online membership and has played 50 hours of your game. And has given you data that you can sell to make more money. So that's better than any other place that has scalpers. So, hopefully it looks like that May 8th thing that they had up for buying from the store itself could end up being like a good barometer for US and Canada pre-orders here. So, still a saga. Most of our first half of the news here is still all about Switch stuff. As it really is only the only news really of the week here. Switch 2 edition games will contain both the game and the upgrade on the cart. Nintendo clarifies. So people were thinking you get just the game, and then the upgrade would be like a download separately. Nintendo clarified. Confusion arose. I'll start here. Confusion arose after conflicting reports based on comments from customer service staff suggesting Switch 2 edition games may not include the game itself. However, in a statement to Vooks, Nintendo clarified that this is not the case, although pointed out that some publishers may release Switch 2 edition games as download copies, download codes in physical packaging with no game cart. Here's the exact statement. Physical versions of the Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games will include the original Nintendo Switch game and its upgrade pack all in the same card, i.e., they are exclusively Nintendo Switch 2 game cards with no download code. Alternatively, some publishers may release Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games as download codes in physical packaging with no game card. So this also goes in line with Nintendo confirming that several Switch 2 game cards won't always carry the actual game, but instead of a key to download it. Switch 2 game key cards are physical cards that only contain a key to download your chosen game. That means there's no actual game data on the card you insert into your Switch 2, so you'll need to download it once the card is inserted. Every game key card case will be appropriately labeled on the lower portion of the box, so you'll know. So if you're concerned about what you're actually exactly purchasing, you'll have a heads up right away. Games like Street Fighter VI and the Bravely Default Remaster do indeed feature this game key card disclaimer. Others, such as Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, do not. The beefy Cyberpunk 2077, which weighs in at 64 gigabytes on Nintendo Switch 2, comes on cart. That's a pretty beefy cart. So yeah. So if you're worried about the Nintendo Switch 2 games, it looks like you will still be able to buy physical editions. And if you don't see the little disclaimer, know that the entire game, including Cyberpunk 2077, is on that cart you are purchasing. More updates. Hades 2 is exclusive to Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. It's a timed exclusive. It will launch alongside the version 1.0 will launch alongside the PC, the Steam, and Epic Game Store versions. So Supergiant Games explained on that other site, Hades 2 version 1.0 will launch simultaneously on our early access platforms, Steam and Epic Game Store, Nintendo Switch 2, and the original Nintendo Switch. So, it's unclear if Hades will make the jump, but I'm pretty sure most likely they're doing the same thing they did before, except they're including Nintendo Switch 2 instead of just the PC with this. But I'm excited for Hades 2, so is this a way to get me to get a Nintendo Switch 2? Probably not, because I already have the early access on Steam, so, but if I didn't, it could be a way to entice me, because I believe it'll be a very, very, very good game. Yeah. Am I good? Yeah, I think, I think, I'm dropping a little frames here. It doesn't look to be too bad. Let me know how I look. Here. It only seems to be like 6% of frames that I've dropped. So, hopefully it's not too bad. Here, because I am not recording locally. Yeah. Anyway, I will just continue on here. So, hopefully it gets better, because it looks like it is. Next up, Nintendo keeps The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD hopes alive despite the GameCube. I feel like I'm in an emotionally abusive relationship with Nintendo right now when it comes to this game. According to Nintendo of America's Senior Vice President, Nate, whatever his last name is, told Kinda Funny that just because the game is available to play on the online doesn't mean the developer won't consider remastering it or remaking it. Consequently, fans have been a little worried that they never see a full remaster, given The Legend of Zelda: Wind Waker, which was ported to Wii U, 2013 will be available on subscription service on Nintendo 2. So the exact quote is, "We got to ask a whole bunch of questions, and in typical Nintendo fashion, we didn't get too many answers to things, but I did ask if having the Wind Waker on Nintendo Switch Online precludes Nintendo Switch 2 from getting the actual Wii U port at some point, and he was very quick to say no. All options are on the table. Obviously, nothing confirmed one way or the other, but there are many examples that are on NSO, and you can still get them in a different way, whether it's remake or just the same port version. So interesting that they didn't say it's not happening, but essentially it was never say never. So yeah, as I said, I feel at this point they're just toying with my emotions. If I will say this, and I'll go through with it. Hopefully the stream stays up for this statement. If they announce Wind Waker 2 HD coming to Switch 2, and I haven't already purchased it, I will immediately purchase Switch 2 at that point. That's a promise from me to you. I will put myself in debt to end this emotionally abusive relationship with Nintendo. And no, I do not want the Wii U version, Jonathan. Thank you. Alright, moving on. We have... it appears that they accidentally confirmed Rainbow Road for Mario Kart World. No surprise here that the iconic track that's been in every single Mario Kart will be in Mario Kart World. It's just they probably wanted to reveal it with an actual like trailer or so, but you know, like we're getting to other stories in this. People just not looking at the photos they're posting online at all. So it, yeah. Friggin' Nintendo. Well, since I'm going to be one system down for the foreseeable future, you know, I might as well hopefully get a Switch 2 to be able to start streaming things. So, yeah. So, Rainbow Roads in Mario Kart World. Pretty much we got to all assume that. But, as I said, this has been a thing that Nintendo has done multiple times with this announcement. So, if you can see here, and for those of you watching the video version, you will already see it. In a photo released on I believe it was the South Korea advertisements for Donkey Kong Bonanza, they had Pauline, a young Pauline, grabbing Donkey Kong's tie in the key art instead of that purple rock that is there. Now, will that mean that the odd rock is just here for this and Pauline is actually the odd rock in the real game? Who knows? But this is the second time that they accidentally revealed something they probably didn't want to reveal through a photo. The way I know that this wasn't supposed to come out was because it was instantly pulled and replaced with the correct image. So it's not like the Metal Gear Delta leak of Ape Escape and the release date, because they were going to do a state of play in a few days anyway. This is something that is probably a few months away from being announced, probably a Summer Games Fest thing, that now got accidentally leaked and it lives on the internet forever. But it's going to be cool to see if this is like a prequel to like Odyssey or something. I don't know. Having a younger Pauline here is interesting for where they're going with this story, and probably hints towards what'll be involved in the movie. And that concludes our Nintendo segment. Like I said, we're trying to beat this pretty quick because I'm trying to make sure I am ready and settled in for The Last of Us premiere tonight. Speaking of The Last of Us, they have released it again. The Last of Us Complete Edition launches as a surprise bundle for the PS5, where you can get both The Last of Us Part 1 and The Last of Us Part 2 remasters all on one download. I didn't think they would do this. I thought they would have timed it I thought the release of Last of Us 2 Remaster for PC was the thing they were connecting to the TV show. This is a little bit of a surprise. It's getting to the FF10 moment of where, and Kingdom Hearts moment of just, we're just going to keep releasing things and put them out there, and some people are just going to keep buying them. But if for some odd reason you have a PS5 and you have not played either of the Last of Us games, or you have not touched the remasters, I would highly recommend doing this. I got to scroll through real fast. I don't know. I didn't see if this has the... it does have Left Behind and No Return and Lost Levels, all that content included. I want to see... Do they... It doesn't say if there's director's commentary. That was a part of why I replayed through Last of Us Part 2 on, like, super easy. Was because they had the, yeah. Oh, so this is so pointless. Exactly. Yeah. They're just looking to make money. Which, again, companies want to make money. That's why I had my rant last week about, if you want to stick it to people, don't buy their products. You know, I feel like boycotts and things can work better on a smaller scale in terms of, like, getting the PlayStation to not release at a higher price. You know, if you just with your wallet. Some of the bigger things that are going on right now, I don't know if they'll ever come to fruition there, because, you know, but it's not pointless. Any boycott is worth it going there. But yeah, if you want Naughty Dog to suffer, don't buy this, and they'll go, "Wait, maybe we shouldn't release Last of Us anymore." Huh? Maybe everybody that's going to buy it has bought it. But this is a good collector's edition if you're into that kind of stuff. But yeah. Oh, you know, maybe they should. Maybe they should release Intergalactic for PS5 instead of making it wait for PS6. Huh. And it's not like the studio's not capable of it, Night Duck. I mean, they released this and Uncharted on, I believe, the PS4 or PS3 at the same time. And then, you know, so it's not like they can't be a two-game studio. But yeah. Yeah, but I will say this, I'm half joking with that. I'd rather have a studio that's all completely in on one title. Kind of like Bethesda fucks it up a lot, but how they are like, okay, it's Fallout for 4 or 5 years, and it's Elder Scrolls for 4 or 5 years, and now it's going to be Starfield for 4 or 5, you know. Instead of trying to release on a yearly cadence, which, you know, can just screw up the quality even more than Bethesda screws up quality. You know, but yeah, this is completely pointless. Going back to that, it's really like, if you didn't buy the re-releases and have played through the original games, this is a great thing that makes it cheaper. Technically not. I think you could have gotten upgrades for both for like $10 or $20. So it's probably cheaper, but either way, I don't know. I honestly don't know who this is for. Talking it out with y'all. I don't know exactly who this is for. Except for Naughty Dog to make money. Moving on. So this I specifically put in here for to slightly piss off Anthony. Hi, Anthony, if you're listening. Death Stranding, live action movie, has its director, Michael Saranoski. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Saranoski? I would say Nosk. The director of A Quiet Place Day 1 is set to write and direct the live-action adaptation of Kojima Productions' Death Stranding. If there was a game that I just want to see what the movie version of it is. Not because I think it'll be any good or anything. I just want to see how they interpret what a lot of that game is. Like, it is... There are things that are just batshit that you just grow to accept because you kind of get Stockholm Syndrome in the game while you're playing it. You're kind of, oh, yeah, sure, there are beaches that we go to when we die, and that's where our soul goes, and sure. Yeah, that's fine. And there's giant babies that come out of stillborn mothers, or come out of brain-dead mothers, and they can connect to the world of the dead, sure. And the world of the dead is also the way the internet works. You're like, sure, got it. Where do I need to deliver these packages? But, yeah, so, essentially, let's see where this goes. A lot of these movie adaptations don't really end up going anywhere. And the ones that do, it's mixed results. I think the Fallout and Last of Us has gotten game studios a little too confident that their thing will work. Even though the Castlevania series in there too, and a lot of these things will not work. And Minecraft's going to make $1 billion, and mainly from everything I've seen, it's based on one joke of being a chicken jockey. It's going to be the thing that makes kids go. Like, literally, I should have pulled those stories that people are literally bringing live chickens into the movie theater, sneaking live chickens in for that scene. It's insane. But, this has a thing to either be actually a really decent sci-fi movie, or it's a movie that I make Anthony and Dan watch for They Call This a Movie in 3 years. Or 3 years from its release, if we're still doing it. But yeah, probably going to be an A24 type movie, because he's done multiple A24 movies. But yeah, so it was a cool, fun story that I saw there. Another funny story is I'll keep this brief because I'm not really a Fortnite guy, but apparently Fortnite put Sabrina Carpenter as a skin in there recently, and now anytime two Sabrina Carpenters run into each other, apparently they don't kill each other, they just dance and then run away from each other. I just don't get I'm not making fun of or disparaging people that do play it, but it's just like, okay, that's kind of funny, yes. It's just all vibes now, as the quote says, as the Fortnite developers said on the other site. Yeah, just kind of a fun story. I thought, it's insane. I've seen some people playing Fortnite and just all the different skins they have. It's just, there's a reason why it's making, ungodly amounts of money. And it's become like the one game everyone plays. Except me. But, yeah. And our final two stories. First one here, this is the final game story. The second one is a fun story that I wanted to bookend the show with. PlayStation Plus, catalog for April 2025 confirmed. Yeah, that Wizard game that you all know of that's popular that, we don't need to talk about, that's coming to the extra and premium section. Blueprints, which I've heard a lot of great things about. Tape 2 for Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. EA Sports PGA Tour, Battlefield 1, and Played Up. Those are your extra and premium game editions. And then the premium game catalog editions, exclusively to that highest tier, is Alone in the Dark 2 and War of Monsters. So if you do have PlayStation Plus, you can play through at least 5 good games, download 5 good games, and if you have premium, you can make that 7. And finally, as I think I timed this pretty well, Direwolves are back, baby. Scientists have been able to bring direwolves back for the first time in over 10,000 years. So, best known from, I guess, recently Game of Thrones. This is the science version of Skynet. Like, did they not learn anything from Jurassic Park? Just like AI developers not learning anything from Skynet. Like, yeah, let's release wolves that were apex predators 10,000 years ago back into the world. No, they won't destroy ecosystems. No, but Mark, we'll keep them in a cage in like a zoo thing, and people can just come look at them. Like, yeah, because these ferocious dire wolves that are, supposed to be worse than wolves, or bigger than wolves, I think so as well. They're just you're gonna be able to keep them, just like the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. Yeah, you're able to keep those guys in check. So another checkbox on the list of things that we're all gonna die at some point in this stupid next 4 years that fucker is in office. Dire wolves are just gonna eat Americans. I don't know. That's what all this is looking forward to. This is like the looking back on what happened when the post-apocalypse starts. It's like, oh yeah, the President of the United States puts out a medical thing that says he's as fit as a NFL athlete or linebacker. And we also brought back dire wolves. Nuclear bomb. Keep playing video games, folks. The only thing keeping us great. So, thank you for joining us. We'll go back to Big Mark here. Yeah. It's been fun as always. We'll be back on tonight with Amagon. Play through a couple more levels of that. Then Thursday we have Final Fantasy VI. Friday will most likely be Avowed. Like I said, for the rest of the month, and it's already paid for. I will play through it. Saturday will be, probably, if I have the time, Avowed and Trails, and then we'll be back with the News Hour on Sunday. So be sure to check us all out. We might do special stuff on Friday because that is Good Friday. Or actually, scratch it. Saturday, I'm going to watch WrestleMania. So I will not be around on Saturday. So we might just move Trails to Friday, and that'll solve that problem. Yeah, so just be on the lookout. You'll see. You'll get the notifications if you click the bell and all that stuff. Which one I'm going live with. I might announce it on Thursday, depending on what it looks like, if you're there for Final Fantasy VI. So once again, thank you guys for joining me. It was fun as always, and we'll see you next time. Bye!